These even came packaged.
It looks smoky, guys, because there's plastic film on both sides.
Yeah, it's just that we left the protective on. If you take that off, you'll...
You don't
Did you show them?
No, you don't have to take it off.
Well, I won't take it all off, but I'll just take off a little corner on each side and put it back so they can see it's... You can see it's pretty darn clear going through it.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks good. That's not the problem. The cleanliness of it wasn't an issue. Alright, this is my 14-inch, and it's close. We actually were going to try and mount one of these up, but the problem is that we don't have the right width. And so we're just a little over 1/4 of an inch too narrow. I can deal with the height. We can rescale that. So again, we're still looking on the 14-inch screens and or a 15-inch screen if we can find an integrated one for that. So that quest for fire still goes on. Just letting you guys know, that is the whole skinny. And we have spent just a lot of time trying to solve that puzzle. Alright, so I think that covers everything that we've been killing ourselves over here.
E1J about the laser thing, I completely understand. Freeside Atlanta has the same issue with their laser. Their laser system takes up roughly about, I'd say about 1/8 of the room that they have back in there, but those guys have been engineering little bits and pieces in order to get the actual thing to work just right. So, and last time I heard they were able to get theirs to work just right. If anyone from Freeside Atlanta is watching, thank you very much. And love to work with you guys a lot more. It's just that we're on the top end of Atlanta, and they are just below I-20. So, but if you're in the area, go check them out because there are a lot of good people over there. So, actually, Charlie, any improvements made to the slicing methods? Very good question.
As a matter of fact, I got burned on that. We are trying to slice up and print something for a guy in California, Los Angeles, and we keep getting memory out of memory exceptions. Yeah. So we're playing with the settings right now. The slicer thing is, don't be surprised that we end up diving in head first on our own slicer like 3-4 weeks from now, because it's going to become the next weak link. It's all, as far as I'm concerned, it's the weak link of the system right now today. Everything else is looking pretty dang solid.
Yeah. And but you guys will be able to download it as well once it's ready.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, I need testers. So the idea is this: get the printers to you guys so you can like print something, a flower or something. You'll be able to print more than that. What we keep choking on is a very complicated. It's a very complicated piece, and so it has a very large output and uses a lot of buffers. And I'm running it from inside a Visual Studio, so they can't coexist. I exceed the amount of memory that's available. Even though I have 3 gigabytes available, it seems to not like going above a certain limit. So, no, it's not Space Cows. Actually, it's really an elaborate rocking chair cradle combination thing, but for some reason it seems to be too many facets. We're probably going to go through and do some normalization on it in one of the mesh works or something to smooth it out, to make it a lot less points. That makes sense. And then come back out and see if that'll clean it up some. Again, these are things that we're learning. We're not experts on that part of it yet. I can imagine 40 ways to fix it. And we'll
have to vet them out one at a time until we get it where it works.
Well, the good thing is this. I mean, we tried Kiss Slicer, and it actually was able to get through it. Yes. But the code that comes out of Kiss Slicer is not the same as the code that comes out of Slice 3-er.
Slicer 3, yeah.
So what we did was, or SkeenForge for that matter, what we've done is we have a lot of customization available to the editor, so we can take and convert the Kiss Slicer output back to output that's friendly to the printer on the fly. So that's a good thing. We also have some tricky things we can do, such as normalize the velocities or unnormalize the velocities during the print, and numerous other things that you'll see as you start to use the printers. I'm working on the software now 4 hours every day. Mostly the GUI side of it for the last week and a half to get it all to fit onto the screens, but also printing phenomena. So it's coming along. As we evolve, as the hardware gets more and more mature, then more and more time goes back into the software.
Let's see. Space Cows does not. This is from X-Ray Charlie. Space Cows does not contain too many triangles. It is actually a non-manifold as provided, so there are some issues caused by that without modifying / fixing the mesh first.
Ah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Have to heal the surface.
Yes.
Possibly.
And that's because he was responding to what Eagle1J was asking, which was too many triangles. B9 Creator had to update the software to allow more triangles. And yeah, oh, he threw a curveball for Eagle1J. Yeah. So, X-Ray Charlie also says that he already started the dive on the software, on the slicing software, and he also asks, you cannot specify, and this is going back to the overlays, you cannot specify an aspect ratio when ordering the touchscreen overlays.
It's not just an aspect ratio. It's how much dead zone there is from the frame, because you have to mount it somewhere. You have a pressure zone. It is also the size of the pixels. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on when you're ordering it. And it turns out that finding out what's available is tough. And you could just go online and find one for $80. We wouldn't even be looking at this, but the screens that come integrated start in the $400, $500, $600 range from everything we shop for, and some of them go north of $1,000. So I can't spend 80% of my build budget on a LCD display. That doesn't make any sense. No.
And Semetis, which is Mateo. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Semetis.
Hi, Mateo.
Yeah, he asks about the Fuel 3D, which is a Kickstarter project that's out there. Yes, we did see this earlier. Thank you very much to Kevin Schumacher and also Ken and David Gaipa for back for the holidays. Excellent. And yes, we did actually see this one earlier. We looked at it, and it looks very promising for what they've been working on.
Go back. Can you show a screen share?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me go and pull this guy over here.
So,
just screen juggling.
Thank you, Mateo, for bringing this up. This, of course, looks very interesting.
Okay.
And if you slide down a little bit further, right there. Oh, I think you'll recognize the look and feel of this GUI. This is an open source mesh lab. And so what they do is they've taken it and they have used it as their base foundation. You're going to find this is true with almost everybody's scanning software. And that's the reason why we jumped on getting the Connect, because it was available and it got you right into starting to play with the meshes to begin with. Just for your information. So just letting you know. Now, I don't know what technique they're using. They might be using structure from motion, and it looks like they have a couple of cameras. We'll definitely look at this a little closer just to see exactly what technology they're using. And well, there it is.
Yeah, they opened it up a little bit. So we got 3 flash modules, 2 optical assemblies. Actually, they've got 2 cameras. One that does. It's kind of like the Connect in order to get the color that goes together. So them saying what they said in the video, I have to say there certainly are things that have already been done.
Huh.
So I think what they've done. I think what they've done is from everything I've seen, they've done they've got a higher resolution camera inside of their product, and that's what they're really.
Hey, it looks interesting. I'm going to do a little more research on this. Who knows? Maybe it should be the right thing to do.
There's your There's your.
So it's 0.5 millimeter resolution.
Best achievable resolution they're able to get right now is a 250.
Quarter microns. That's still not bad.
250 micron, which is.
Quarter millimeters. 10 mils. That's good.
Mm-hmm. So, there you go. It's kind of interesting. Okay. Want to go back? Or you want me to continue to go down.
Well, those are beautiful scans. Yeah. I mean, there you go. Someone set the example. We should be able to get something like that, even if we have to buy this guy's thing. How do you like that? So.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So thank you for sharing that, Mateo. That looks really cool. I'm glad somebody out there knows what they're doing.
Yes, as Hildrich says, the best achievable resolution is approximately 250 micron sampling for right now. So, yeah.
Very good.
All right.
All right. Anybody got any more questions for us before we head off to the bedtime? I know I started real early yesterday and today, so I'm getting down there.
Yep.
We appreciate everything you guys are doing. Just keep pounding away on it.
Mm-hmm. Equal one J.
He can't be speechless.
Nada. Oh, wow.
I think it's a little bit to digest.
Yes.
I look forward to the next broadcast because...
just surveys and shipping.
Yeah. Surveys and shipping. Surveys will go out, and the shipping will have... we'll email the list of people that we're doing the first trip up the coast. And then, Ken, your unit's in the next room. I'm trying to figure out how I can get it assembled or disassembled to ship it.
He also said that he was going to be in San Francisco, and he saw those, right?
Oh, wait, go back. The 19th?
Yeah, San Fran the week of the 19th, Fort Worth the week of the 26th of August. So.
We'll have to talk to him.
Yeah. We'll
see if it makes sense. Maybe we can give it to him to take on the plane. I might be able to package it.
Fort Worth is great because there's Craig in I think Austin or Fort Worth in that area.
We'll check.
Yeah.
We'll check.
So.
I'm sure the next 2 months are going to be very rewarding, but I'm sure they're going to be still convoluted for us because doing the deliveries, a lot of training stuff going on. I'm sure there'll be tons of questions. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to deliver as many of these as possible in person, so I can get you up, get you running, make sure it works right, and then take it from there. Divide by 0.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, John Hubbard asked what happened to the spreadsheet on the HYREL site. It's there. You just have to mouse over Kickstarter, and then underneath that you'll see the queue for orders. We got the burn-in start on the very first 10 Kickstarters that we started on. It looks like the very first one was July the 23rd. First 5 was on July the 23rd, and then the next 5 was on July the 24th. So.
And the 5 that were ready to go or still ready to go are sitting right there. We have just been to the wall every day, so we didn't go put more on burn-in. We should get those in Tuesday.
Yeah.
So there'll be 5 more. And then the several of the systems are getting randomly burnt in as we're plugging them in, testing the wiring, things like that. But they need to go on for tests before I start heading anywhere with them.
Yes. Hildrich says, I'm sorry. I'm jumping over X-Ray Charlie. Or maybe parts of it. Okay.
I understand.
Yeah, okay. Hildrich says, Fuel 3D compares their system also with Kinect-based scanning and mentions high-resolution 3D geometry is not possible with Kinect. He also says it's shown in a little matrix on their Kickstarter's page. So, and I think it's because they're using a higher resolution camera, guys. They might be doing structure from motion. We'll have to look it up. Oh, yeah.
Let us do our research, then we can give you guys some information. Yeah. Right now, it looks great, and it might be the better solution. We don't know. So let's do some research, and we'll try to be straightforward with it.
Yeah. Okay. Eagle1J says, will the survey include what you know about us and what we want already? Or are we starting from scratch? A very good question.
Who wrote that?
That's David Geico.
Well, you just said the Me Too last time. Don't you want whatever we give Greg?
Yeah.
You're going to need to build a bigger house.
Most of the stuff that is going to be sent out is going to be from scratch again, just so that I can verify that what I have is correct inside my records. So I'm sorry, you have to check one more box off.
You don't want, you don't want dual yokes. Wait for that. I have about 50 reasons for it, but just trust me on that. You probably want this, and you probably want it like a super system, but I wouldn't recommend dual yokes to you yet. There'll be a lot of custom programming going on with the dual yokes, and I can see between now and January just a limited group of guys. I'm trying to get one to Ken, because Ken is a super programmer and he has got some real creative things he'd like to try. Of course, Greg gets one, because Greg is the highest regarded guy we've got. He's been just unbelievably helpful, and he loves to break stuff. So, and then he loves to make it work better.
Yeah.
So.
Eagle and Jay says you just need to know for pre-wire purposes in the ARM, right? Yes. When it comes to assembly, we just want to make sure that what we're going to be giving you guys is correct, and there's a little bit of cost to it too.
Eagle and Jay got a system, right?
He got a super system.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Don't worry then. You're covered.
Yeah.
The super system guys, the fifth one is Greg. So the 4 guys that are left, you don't have to worry. It's coming with bears on it.
Yeoman, I actually wanted to ask, are the system and the engines dependent upon the embedded PC? Just in case the board dies, is it still possible to print via plugging to desktop?
Yes, and yes. I run my printer 80% of the time from my desktop, because that's where my well, it's an i7. Why would I waste time compiling and running all the truthfully? I got so many HYREL background scanning programs on at the same time. My i7 barely keeps up with the dual core Atom processor that's in the printer. So to answer your question, you can run it from an external PC or from the embedded PC. Well, why would we do that? Why would we let someone do that? Because you don't know what the next 10 years will bring PC-wise, and these motherboards may go bad, and we don't want to say, oh, guess what? You got a $5,000 paperweight. We don't want to do that to anybody. So it uses a standard, I think it's a mini ITX or a micro ITX, I don't remember which one of the two.
Yeah.
It's 120 millimeters. I think it's 120 millimeters square.
Yeah.
You can buy them from a number of sources. If it's a different motherboard, it might require a little rewiring, because we use some of the 12 volts upstairs more. So, but you have 650 watt power supply. Most of you guys won't have to worry about that at all. Otherwise, you should be able, if it has LVDS signals, then you'll be fine. If it doesn't have LVDS, you might be in for a adapter board, which we can get you actually. So we just tried to run it in native mode. Mm-hmm. So I think you're covered for future replacement problems, and yes, you can run it from your PC. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Is this from the Delta print? I like the Delta printer. I mean, the raw stock designs. Mm-hmm. We've been kicking that around in our spare time, just wondering, how to make one solid. But Greg's actually been playing with one over the last month or so in his spare time. This is not CME CNC. Who is this?
No, these are guys that are creating a group of college students. They're trying to do a 3D printer for the very first time, and the whole thing was just to use the Delta, and they're trying to drum up some support to do Kickstarter. So that's what they're doing right now. They haven't released any kind of pricing or anything like that. It only does ABS right now, and only does 1.75 millimeter ABS.
I've looked at about 25 videos on the Delta printer. I got to tell you, from a manufacturing standpoint, it's great because the three legs can be virtually identical. I would make sheet metal on the top and bottoms, get it folded so that it was strategically folded for rigidity, and I would use a custom extrusion on the uprights, so to take advantage of channels, things like that, guideways for wiring and for your belt drive system. I was very surprised to see the repeatability of the wire drive that they use. I thought that was a pretty unique approach.
Yeah, they're using a high tensile vector fishing line.
Yeah, you can see it there. That may or may not be the best way to go, I cannot say.
Yeah.
But based on everything, I mean, the Delta Bot is not to be discontinued. It could be a great thing in the future. The thing of it is I can't go put like 2 kilograms on it. It's too heavy for that type of a device. So we're looking at an evolutionary project. And it might be that we never play in that sandbox. Although I got to tell you, it's very tempting. We're staying on task. We're finishing the printers we sold. We promised we're going to get those delivered. And then if Santa decides to drop a few Delta Bots off the top of the sleigh and they hit the backyard, I'm not going to complain.
All right. Thanks, Eagle and Jay. He says,
I see that.
I like where this HYREL 3D printer is going, though. Print all, do all. Yes.
And that's really where we're at. It's a manufacturing system. I think the Delta Bot is unique. I think it's fast. I think it's highly manufacturable. I have yet to see someone do a design that's properly gusseted, in my opinion. Those students should be doing a little better job on their FEA application. If they do that, they might actually come up with a revolutionary printer. So they've got access to all those good CAD tools. I'd love to see them put some more creative interconnects between the uprights and the base and the top. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't cost any more if it's done properly. That's just what we look at when we look at it all the time. Give you some rigidity there. So, that said, hey, past my bedtime. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and chatting with us. And the march goes on. We continue to get close to this goal. And I hope to give you more good news.
Hildrich says HYREL equals a do-what-I-mean system/environment. Yes.
You know, Hildrich, it always gives me anxiety thinking that I may disappoint you because you're so far away. So you can know that you're constantly someone I'm thinking about. And we're trying to get you a system that when you get it, you'll be happy that you waited this long, that you jumped on this thing from a distance. I'm just looking forward to meeting you. So.
Hey, Going Jay says I have cursed at enough 3D printers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That bar is low and high for HYREL at the same time. Oh yeah. Well, guys, I think Hildrich says I'm sure you won't. You are doing your best. So thank you guys.
Yes.
Next broadcast.
Next Sunday night.
It's gonna be next Sunday night. Okay.
I'll be available Sunday night. I won't be available before 6, but I should be available after that.
Okay.
So.
Excellent. All right, guys. So if you have any questions in the meantime between the broadcasts, please reach out to us at HYREL3D@gmail.com. That's HYREL 3 as the number 3D at gmail.com. Otherwise, we will see you here same time, same channel, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, great.
Hildrich, thanks for staying up late.
Yes.
I look forward to visiting you in person.
All right.
Everybody else, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. I appreciate it.
Good night.
All right. Good night.